Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 5.
Coming up tonight on the news, rolling up their sleeves, some local college students volunteer to help others.
Also, Lincoln police release a statement concerning this case of the coughing woman in a Lincoln supermarket.
But first, we begin with some sad news. One person was killed in a crash in South Lincoln today. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
The crash happened around 11 this morning at 40th and Highway 2.
No names have been released and the cause is still under investigation. Channel 8's Joseph Nasser was live at the scene for our midday news and now has the latest update.
On Thursday, a two-vehicle car crash took the life of a 66-year-old woman. LPD and LFR responding to the crash just before 11 on Thursday morning. Police say a gray Honda Accord was traveling northbound on South 40th Street and collided with a red Jeep Liberty going eastbound on Highway 2. The impact of the crash turned the red Jeep Liberty on its side. According to LFR, each had to be extricated from their vehicles and were rushed to an area hospital. The driver of the Honda Accord is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The accident stopped westbound traffic on Highway 2 for several hours as first responders cleared the area. Investigators have been processing the scene and conducting interviews with witnesses. The investigation is ongoing. Reporting in Lincoln, Joseph Nasser with Nebraska's trusted news source.
In other news now, a former gymnastics coach in Papillion has been arrested. 30-year-old Alexander Thomas is charged with 2 counts of sexually assaulting a child. He's being held in the Sarpy County Jail. Bail was set at $250,000. The latest now on that viral video showing a woman intentionally coughing on some customers at a Lincoln Super Saver.
That's right. Lincoln police sent out a release today. They say they're aware of it. They say they've seen the video, but at this time, they have received no complaint from a victim or victims of this disturbance, which they say they have to have for an investigation to go. They say based on what they've seen, though, this incident could be considered a criminal violation. Well, today we spoke with the senior policy advisor for the White House COVID response team.
He emphasized the importance of data collected during this time as it helps distribute resources needed to fight COVID-19 in Lincoln and across Nebraska.
If you're looking at the arc of this pandemic, August is, told the story that this is still a full court press. And as we head into September, we still have a lot of work to do. And I think the key to being able to do that work well is the data and the information necessary to guide us.
And today, President Biden released federal mandates to help combat the virus. One says all employers with 100 or more employees will require the employees to get vaccinated or do weekly negative COVID tests.
And let's talk about Moderna for a while. It's working on creating a vaccine that fights both COVID-19 and the flu. It would be a single dose given once a year. Now, the company is hoping the shot is ready for flu season in the fall. Moderna is also asking the FDA to approve its COVID booster shot.
Speaking of flu shots, it's that time of year again to get your annual flu shot. Last year, there was only 1 reported case of the flu in Lancaster County. Just incredible. But doctors warn to not let your guard down this year.
Don't let having 1 year of low influenza cases make you feel comfortable without getting the vaccine.
Now, last year, cases were low due to public health measures like wearing masks and the social distancing. The CDC recommends getting your flu shot by the end of October and that you can be vaccinated from both the flu and COVID-19 at the same time because you can catch both viruses.
They're going to be more likely to require hospitalization and may even need an ICU level of care, potentially with a ventilator.
The CDC says some children may need 2 doses of the flu vaccine, and those who are pregnant can be considered for the vaccination, especially those in their 3rd trimester, because the CDC says this can help protect their babies during the first months of life when they're too young to be vaccinated. All right, let's get to your first forecast now. Meteorologist Malcolm Byron filling in for John. And I stepped outside this afternoon, Malcolm. It just felt great.
Right, similar to yesterday, high temperatures in the low to mid 80s across southeast Nebraska, and the humidity still wasn't high today. We mentioned yesterday, however, that we were headed in towards a pattern changes. Winds today have shifted back out of the south, and that's going to allow more humidity to re-enter the picture as we head in towards tomorrow. Might notice a hazy look to the sky across southeast Nebraska. That's because we have wildfire smoke overhead. It's a little hard to see right in southeast Nebraska, but you can definitely see it on visible satellite imagery off to our west. Those are not clouds that you're seeing streaming in from the northwest. That is wildfire smoke. Good thing thing is, this is in the upper atmosphere, not necessarily near the surface in the eastern part of the state, so not dealing with any air quality concerns there. Wind speeds right now, as you just mentioned, they've returned out of the south, so while it still feels comfortable today, it's going to take a little bit of time for the humidity to re-enter the picture. I think by tomorrow, we'll start to feel a little bit more humidity across the area. Right now, we're at 82 at Lincoln Airport, 83 in Seward, 80 in Milford, 81 in Firth, so the smoke is actually appearing to have somewhat of a cooling effect. We're at 80 degrees in Grand Island, 79 in Hastings, 78 degrees in Kearney, and here is the lower humidity. It's a little bit higher from where it was yesterday, but dew points are still in the 50s, so still feeling plenty comfortable outside. Forecast over the next couple of hours, mostly sunny skies dropping into the 70s by 8 o'clock, but folks, it's really going to heat up over the next couple of days. We're going to talk more about the heat over the next day or two and in towards the weekend coming up in my full forecast.
All right, thank you very much, Malcolm. During this Suicide Prevention Week, you may wonder about your children's mental health.
If they're away at college, it can be difficult to track, but as Channel 8 reporter Nathan Grieve explains, it's not impossible to make a difference, and they have a lot of help available on campus.
First and foremost, if you have a reason to suspect your student may need help, don't wait, reach out. Just because you can't be with them doesn't mean you can't help them.
If parents want to reach out and talk to the Counseling and Psychological Services Center, if they're really worried about their child, they can consult with CAPS, and they can help parents determine how to best reach out to their sons or daughters.
Of course, you may not know anything's wrong. You're not there to see small changes that could indicate a bigger problem. Luckily, there are 4,000 students, staff, and faculty at UNL who've all been trained just for that purpose, with more on the way.
We're continually reaching out to different academic departments. We'd like to get more faculty trained than we have right now, which that is working. We just had the College of Business do a huge training for their faculty on REACH, the gatekeeper training.
And there are even more resources available for students who are struggling, like a friendly face who knows how to help.
Within Big Red Resilience and Wellbeing, we have well-being coaches. 30 of the coaches have just been trained. They're undergraduate, graduate, and professional students trained to sit down and talk with students either via Zoom, in person with masks on, or walk with a well-being coach.
So there are lots of people who care, keeping an eye on things, helping your student navigate some potentially rough years. For Nebraska's trusted news source, I'm Nathan Grieve.
All right, some international news now. People are now able to get out of Afghanistan once more through commercial flights.
That's right. Dozens of foreigners, including Americans, have finally left Kabul. This is the first large-scale departure since the U.S. and foreign forces withdrew at the end of last month. The departure marked a significant breakthrough in coordination between the U.S. and Taliban. The Taliban said they would let foreigners and Afghans leave with valid travel documents, but days-long standoffs did cause some doubt.
A reminder, the remains of Corporal Dagan Page are going to arrive in Omaha tomorrow. The Marine was killed in the suicide bomber attack that happened at the Kabul airport last month. He's expected to arrive in Omaha around 1:30 again on Friday. Nebraskans are encouraged to show their support along the route of the motorcade to honor our fallen hero who paid the ultimate sacrifice overseas.
It'll be huge. I hope I can be part of it. To lose someone close is, and to know the people is, can become emotional. So.
Now, police there in Omaha have released routes and certain lots in town that will be open for parking, so you can come pay your respects. They have, we have all of that information on our website, klkntv.com. All right, some brighter news now. Some Union College students, boy, they rolled up their sleeves today. They were busy.
The college held its Project Impact Service Day with students volunteering their time across the city.
We went and saw the people who volunteered and read to the kids, and they would just like have these huge smiles on their faces.
You see kids doing yard work but playing music and just having fun with it, and some of those like normal tedious kids just have fun with it, so that was really cool.
Union College students volunteered at more than 50 sites across Lincoln, painting, picking up trash, pulling weeds, and volunteering their time with the elderly and kids in daycare. Those they helped say the day of service meant a lot.
It's the exact same thing that it means to you and I when someone cares about us. When someone genuinely cares, that's the same look that you see in their eyes.
I absolutely loved it, and I'm really grateful that I was able to have this kind of leadership position.
This is the 40th year of Project Impact after a year off due to the pandemic. It's the longest running collegiate service day in the country.
And still ahead on the news tonight, we're going to have, of course, your weather and the latest on the abortion law that took place in Texas. Stay with us. It's been a week now since the abortion ban in Texas took effect, and Texas has been facing fallout since.
The Biden administration is now going as far as to take legal action against the state of Texas to try and challenge the abortion ban law. Here's ABC's Rena Roy with more.
It's the most restrictive abortion law in the nation, and now the Justice Department is suing the state of Texas to challenge it.
The act is clearly unconstitutional under long-standing Supreme Court precedent.
This after nearly 24 House Democrats wrote a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland urging legal action. The abortion ban after 6 weeks of pregnancy makes no exception for rape victims. Governor Greg Abbott under fire for his comments on that.
Texas will work tirelessly to make sure that we eliminate all rapists from the streets of Texas by aggressively going out and arresting them and prosecuting them and getting them off the streets. So goal number one in the state of Texas is to eliminate rape so that no woman, no person will be a victim of rape.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez slamming him on CNN.
Well, I find Governor Abbott's comments disgusting. The majority of people who are raped and who are sexually assaulted are assaulted by someone that they know.
The law also gives private citizens the right to sue anyone who aids and abets an unlawful abortion.
Many babies will be saved.
This teenage activist on TikTok helped crash an abortion reporting hotline in protest of the new law.
I want to make it very clear to Governor Abbott and to the GOP here in the state, this is the beginning. We're not going to stop until our rights are reinstated.
The group Texas Right to Life launched the pro-life website earlier this summer before the new ban went into effect. The new law has prompted several lawmakers to suggest they would look into similar laws in their own states like Arkansas, Florida, and South Dakota. Some similar bills that already exist have also gotten renewed attention. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Malcolm Byron.
Well, it's Thursday. That means we get an update to our drought monitor. And this is actually last week's drought monitor right here. I want you to look at it carefully because there wasn't much changes. You may notice some changes out towards the Panhandle and out just north of Hastings as well. Here we go to this week. Not much changes to the drought status. We have had a dry trend over the past couple of days, and that's going to continue over the next several. Certainly not good in terms of our drought status, at least here in Lincoln. Right now in Lincoln, not seeing any drought activity, but just off towards the west, a county to the west, we do have some moderate drought out that way. Temperatures right now are at 83 in Holmes Lake, 82 Southeast Community College, 82 officially at the airport, 85 degrees out towards Yankee Hill. Generally speaking, most of us were in the lower 80s today, and some of us still hanging on to the 70s. We're at 78 in Aurora, 79 in Hastings, 80 degrees in Grand Island, 81 in York. Still felt comfortable today despite the wind shifting out of the southeast, as we haven't had time for the humidity to resurge back up into the state. So we got to get to the 60-degree mark. That's about the point where it starts to feel uncomfortable, and you got to get above that before it really starts to feel oppressive. Still feeling comfortable outside. Kind of a similar pattern to what we had yesterday. Mostly clear skies, but you're seeing some haze off in the distance because we do have some wildfire smoke off in the sky. And we can see that mainly off towards the west. There is some in the eastern part of the state. It's a little bit hard to see given all the black colors here, but you can see it streaming in from northwest to southeast, and that's going to continue to be the case as we go into tomorrow as well. It's going to warm up tomorrow as well. We're talking a high temperature of 93 for tomorrow. Now, the record high is 101, so I don't think we're going to be flirting with record territory as we head in towards Friday. But as we head in towards Saturday, we're forecasting a high temperature of 97 degrees. Yesterday, we were forecasting 95, but it looks like the front that is going to move through sometime Saturday night will move through a little bit later, may give us a chance to warm up just a little bit more, may approach our record high of 99 degrees. There is a saving grace, however, and I think it's the smoke in the atmosphere. We have quite a bit of it across the entire part of Nebraska. This is as of this evening, and it's going to stick with us as we go in towards tomorrow as well. And the fact of the matter is, I've noticed this over the past couple of months. Whenever we have smoke in the sky, I think the scattering properties of it allows to reflect or absorb and re-emit solar radiation back up to the sky, prevent it from reaching here at ground level and warming us up. And I think that's what's going to be the case tomorrow. I've seen several models forecast close to 100 tomorrow, and I think we're going to be slightly below that just simply because of all the smoke in the sky. This will continue to be the case in towards Saturday as well, although we start to see the concentrations lowering in the Panhandle. Eventually, as we get in towards Sunday and Monday, we'll probably see the smoke get on out of here. So 58 degrees forecast low tonight, clear skies. It's slightly warmer this morning. We were in the lower 50s, a slight southeast breeze. Tomorrow, winds will be light out of the south, 93 degrees to forecast high, sunny skies, but the kicker is tomorrow, it'll be humid once again. Our game of the week, Crete versus Seward. It's looking like it's going to be a hot one to start out that, sunny skies, and will remain mostly clear and throughout most of the game in the lower 80s by 9 o'clock. Here's a look at your 10-day forecast. We're hot and humid for Saturday. For Husker game day, I think we'll be dry for the most part. A disturbance will approach late Saturday night. May throw an isolated shower, but I just think we have so much dry air. We're going to have a hard time firing off some showers Saturday. We'll give an isolated shower chance on Sunday as well. Going in towards next week, we'll have a series of disturbances arriving throughout all of next week as well. We'll drop temperatures in towards the middle 80s by then, even upper 70s on some days in the middle part of next week as a series of disturbances roll through the area.
So, in other words, enjoy today, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, because the humidity returns starting tomorrow.
All right. Thank you very much, Malcolm. Well, on Saturday, of course, it marks the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
Here's a nice story. Students at Papillion School District, they're making it a priority to honor those who lost their lives on that day. Here's more.
Papillion La Vista and Papillion La Vista South high schools are racking up the pull-ups.
We decided to challenge each student to do as many pull-ups as they can, and then hopefully combine the schools, we'll get to 3,000.
Not as a health initiative, but to honor the victims of 9/11. The idea came about when Colonel Green challenged his cadets from the Naval Junior ROTC program, which has kids from both high schools in the PLCS district, to come up with a way to pay tribute to those that lost their lives 20 years ago.
One that really stuck with me was from Cadet Kaffenberger. She mentioned that we should do a 9/11 pull-up challenge for a pull-up for each of the individuals who lost their lives during 9/11.
The challenge runs through Thursday as they race to 2,977 pull-ups. Something that is physically taxing and for a reason.
You got to think about how much the people who were in 9/11 had to go through. Even though we're just doing a little bit, it still does show that we're trying to do something to think about them.
They keep going back up and down those stairs, risking their lives and the physical strain that they had to be on their body. So I think by us exerting this pull-up challenge, exerting as much as we can, kind of pays tribute to them. It's not as significant, obviously, but it's our way of saying, hey, we recognize you guys' sacrifice and the hard work that you guys did to save those that you could.
None of the high school students were alive during that attack, but they recognize what the first responders sacrificed that day and the impact it had on our country.
I didn't experience it being quite young, but I know my father decided to become a firefighter post 9/11 because of it, and I'm on that track too.
I think it's important to continue to honor those people in any way that we can, and let that memory not fade away, because those are the true heroes that made the ultimate sacrifice for us to be here today.
Papillion La Vista schools coming together to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Isn't that great they're doing that? The cadets will announce their totals to the school on Friday.
In other national news now, Amazon has announced a new perk in an attempt to attract and keep hourly employees. They're offering to pay tuition fees and books for U.S. employees who want to earn a bachelor's degree. This benefit is being offered to most of the company's 750,000 warehouse, transportation, and other hourly employees. Workers must be with the company for 90 days to qualify and work either part or full-time while taking classes.
On Wall Street today, the Dow logging the fourth day of losses, falling 152 points. NASDAQ down 38. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Finally, time, many folks love ice cream, of course, and love chicken sandwiches, but what about combining them? It's a chicken sandwich so spicy, you'll need some ice cream to cool the burn.
Yeah, can you believe it? Check this out. A hot chicken sandwich with 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream and topped with some hot honey. Yeah.
Oh, I'd eat that.
The Houston, Texas restaurant called Michael's, it's hot chicken, posted this video on Twitter saying, quote, a little something off our secret menu. I guess the big question to all of you watching right now, would you try this? Megan, you said yes?
Oh, yeah. Well, so I'm a big fan of like sweet and salty things.
Sure.
So I think sweet and spicy would be a good combo.
See,
would you?
I like a little kick in my food, so I would eat the spicy chicken, you know, and have an adult beverage to make sure, you know, that it, didn't burn too hard. Then for dessert, right? Then I'd have the ice cream. But a wild and crazy guys right there. What would you do, Malcolm?
You know, I saw that video on Facebook earlier, or saw a video of them making it. I thought they were dolloping butter on it. They didn't have context as to what it actually was.
Like, that's a lot of butter.
It looks disgusting, but now it makes a lot more sense. I'd try it. I mean, you got the ice cream for the dairy to kind of chill out the spice. And I am not a fan of spicy things, so if the ice cream was not on there, that's a no-go for me.
Well, I would eat it, but that's all the time we have. Would you eat it? Let us know.
Sounds like we might need ice cream tomorrow. See you at 6 o'clock.
You recorded Taco earlier, right? Yeah.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen